Well, the formula on Sunday Oral was pretty simple. Following a Dodger loss, you give the ball to Clayton Kershaw. Check. He did his job. Have the stars carry the freight offensively. Check. Big swings from Ohtani and Betts, and then the bullpen did the rest. Headliners, of course, Wrobleski, and then Jack Dreyer to close it out. They snapped the skid.
You know, you covered the facts. I'll cover the emotions. These are not forced smiles right now. This is really a happy time for them, especially with the flight coming home, to be together, to create some chemistry. Even Mookie Betts in his post-game sound is like, we can't follow our feelings right now. We just have to prepare and execute, and that is the key. And that's what those youngsters at the end of the game did. Ohtani sets the with the home run, sets the tone. Kersh sets the tone with the strikeouts, and more strikeouts we've seen in swing and miss than this year. And then they finish it off with the two young lefties. Fantastic, fantastic execution.
I know the Dodgers weren't happy splitting the 4-game series in Denver.
Mookie, last night's game ended in a heartbreaking fashion. How important was it for you guys just to get things going early in this one today?
I mean, it's super important. I mean, it's been rough, but it's kind of been like the story of the season. So, I mean, I think that it's going to help us, come later on. Fortunately, we got to keep playing so we can make it to October 1st. And then I think these battles will help us in that time.
You had a big swing early in this one. You and Shohei with the home runs. Just what were you seeing from Seguno early in this game?
He just left a couple pitches out over the plate. But, overall, I think he was doing pretty good. I mean, give up a couple solo homers. I think the pitcher's doing well. And unfortunately, he got hit in the foot there and couldn't continue. But, just a couple pitches out over the plate.
We've been seeing excellent starting pitching from this group as of late, whether it was Shohei in Game 1, yesterday Yoshinobu, today Clayton Kershaw. What was it like just playing behind him in this one?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's always fun playing behind Kersh. You're going to get some action, especially playing short, so I know I'm going to get some ground balls. And, it's just good to watch a legend pitch.
It's always a good day when you guys pick up the win, but it also can be the start of something new. Does it feel like with this win today, going back home, you've got 3 against the Rockies, that you guys can kind of set something into motion?
We got to be careful with our feelings there. We can't indulge in those. We have to just continue to prepare each and every day and just go out and play Dodger baseball and figure out ways to win.
It's one game at a time, but this was a good one today. Mookie, congratulations on this win.
Thank you.
Clayton, when you look at just coming into this game, just kind of how heartbreaking last night's loss was there just a different frame of mind for you, for the group, as you went into this matchup?
Look, when you struggle, it's not fun, and it just seems like anything that can happen happens, and it's the same thing when you're winning. It feels like you can't do anything wrong, and you're going to win every game you play. So it's hard to break those cycles one way or the other. So obviously, Yama's performance last night was incredible. Obviously tough one last night, but everybody came in here with a good mindset. Everybody came in here ready to win a game today, and that's really all you can do. Just keep showing up, keep going on the field, keep playing, and we're too good for it not to turn around. And just kind of a complete performance today by everybody, and got the win.
8 strikeouts and quite a few just looking. What does that say to you, just kind of as to how your stuff is playing in this one?
Yeah, I wanted to get through 6 there. I made 2 bad pitches there, the last 2 sliders. So frustrating not to get out of that. But I thought overall it was a decent day stuff-wise. And guys in the back of the pen picked me up. Enriquez getting the last out of that inning, and then Robo pitched awesome today. So that was awesome to see. Those were huge 2 innings for us. And then Jack closing it out was great. So good momentum for us going back home.
2-month stretches like this, much in the last however many years, and then especially coming off a game like last night. Like, how tough is it to navigate and to be able to kind of bounce back from something like last night and be able to put together a complete game today?
Yeah, we don't lose a whole lot around here, so not something to get used to, obviously. But when it does happen, baseball's not as much fun. So you gotta get to come to the field ready to work, ready to get going, and then you can't dwell on it. You just got to get here, start a new day. It's a great thing about baseball, and the hardest thing about baseball is that you play every day. So new opportunity every day, and sometimes it's hard, but that's why not everybody plays it. You got to put on your big boy pants and go play.
Justin, when you look at just kind of what was working so well for you today, the strikeouts, the swing and miss, what kind of gave you the edge in this matchup?
I think Going into this outing today for me, it was just about, like, again, same as it always is, attacking hitters, just trying to be in the zone as much as I can and just kind of use my stuff. And yeah, fortunately today it was great, and we're getting a lot of miss on the slider, and kind of been working hard on trying to get that pitch down in the zone, and I did a good job of that today, so I think that's probably why.
What was just like the mood in the bullpen when you look at the last couple weeks, and especially coming out of last night, and how important was it for you guys today to be able to bounce back and throw up some late zeros like that?
Yeah, obviously, hasn't gone how we've wanted it to the past couple of weeks, but again, like, our job is to go out there and hang up zeros, and there's going to be tough times for every team, for every bullpen, for every starting rotation, for whatever. So I think it's just trusting in each other and just going out there and picking the last guy up if it went poorly, or just continuing if it went well. And I think that's kind of been our MO, is just go out there and continue to try and put up zeros and dominate. That's the goal.
What were kind of the emotions you were feeling walking off the mound after that last punch out there?
Yeah, obviously fired up. For me, like, I kind of love, I don't know, I felt like today, like, I was throwing it really well, obviously, but I think, I felt like the team kind of needed a jolt or something, and thankfully, like, I went out there and felt really good and was able to kind of do what I wanted to. But yeah, obviously it's super good to be able to get fired up like that, because that means you're doing something good. But yeah, for me, I was just excited to get those punch outs, to get the outs, to not give up runs. So I think that was where it came from for me.
To the Los Angeles Dodgers avoiding a sweep and ending their 5-game losing streak, snapping the Birds' 5-game winning streak that started in San Diego with a 3-game sweep against the Pirates. Tony Mansolino's post-game press conference is presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865.
X-ray's negative. We'll see how he kind of bounces back off with the foot, and kind of see how he feels here the next couple days, and that'll help us determine what the plan is going forward. But fortunately, X-ray's negative.
He come out there just because he was having trouble kind of putting pressure on his foot?
I mean, he got hit in the foot and he couldn't walk, barely get off the field. So there's not a whole lot we can do at that point.
You guys have never faced Clayton Kershaw. What did you see from the offense?
He can still do it, apparently. They said that what was registering on the scoreboard as a slider was more like a cutter, and the hitters were saying that the ball was spinning like a four-seam, and they just couldn't see it. That they're having a hard time kind of picking it up, and the bite on it was late. So, watching, there's some 3-1 counts there. He threw the cutter, essentially, and we kind of swung uncharacteristically at it a couple times, and just kind of talking with the hitters, it was just the spin was tough on it. They had a hard time picking it up.
As you've said, the next couple weeks are kind of real audition for a lot of players to see if they can fit into this team next year. Particularly the bullpen, it's going to probably get pretty redone this offseason.
Sure.
What did you think of the way that they handled today?
Well, the last 3 days, one starter goes 3 1/3, right? Another one goes 3, and then another one went 5 1/3. So the bullpen just covered quite a few more innings than the starters here over a 3-day stretch, and that happens over the course of the year. That's not super unusual. It'll happen. But those guys handled it really good. We won 2 of 3. We had a shot, late to get back in that thing and, possibly tie it up or sweep the Dodgers. So for the bullpen to cover that many innings and give us a shot there at the end of today, I think we got to be proud of them.
Was it frustrating for you that they kept rolling out left-handers and you had to keep your left-handers on the bench?
Well, that's the story here over the last few years. Right now we're missing huge right-handed hitters. You're missing Tio would have been in there today. Adley would have been in there today. Westbrook would have been in there today, and Gary. So the strategy over the years has been that against us. And those lefties they're throwing are really tough on left-handed hitters. So if you got those 4 righties in the lineup, it's probably a little bit of a different day for us. But that's kind of been the story all year in a lot of ways, is the missing players. But nonetheless, we have hung in here for a few months and played well regardless.
How difficult is it, obviously, facing Shohei Ohtani, especially when he's leading off, so it's hard to pitch around him?
Yeah. Those 2 pitches, you look at them, one was up and away, and he hit it to right center, and it was pretty good fastball, and the next one is in on the black and hit it to the same exact spot. So up and away, hits a home run, right center, and kind of middle height in on the black, hits it to the same spot. I think you just got to kind of tip your cap to Shohei right there, and I think he's got 47 other ones before he came into this thing. So
Dave, just to get kind of back on track today with Clayton Kershaw setting the tone, the offense getting going early, what were you just seeing from the beginning in this one, and what felt different and how you guys were able to pull out this win?
What felt different, I think, a lot of the same kind of energy that we had going into yesterday's game. I thought, obviously Shohei starting the game off with a homer was huge. You could see the life in the dugout, which again we saw last night. Clayton just picked up where Yoshinobu left off and really competed, and like he always does, and made pitches. And I thought he used his entire pitch mix, which was great. Might not been his best stuff, but I still felt that they were missing the barrel, and he was getting quick outs. And to get him into the 6th inning again on regular was huge. And so for me, he just gave us everything we needed.
We saw the bullpen bounce back tonight. When you see just whether it was Edgardo, Justin Wrobleski, how Jack Dreyer was able to end this one, how can that prove to be a little bit of a boost for that group right now?
It's great. It's great. Guys, with where we're at, it's good for other guys or certain guys to get opportunities and see how they respond. And so it was good to see Edgardo coming in there, and I think that he made that mistake to. That right-hand hitter with the fastball, the 4 fastballs in a row, but ended up getting out of the inning, which was great. But what Robo did today was kind of the big key to take down 2 innings and limit the damage as far as they were threatening in his first inning to get out of that, to go back out, throw up another 0, to get us to the 9th. And, Jack's a guy that I felt wanted to keep those lefties on the bench, and felt good about Jack finishing the game.
If we told you in spring you'd be closing out September games with 3 rookies, would you have bought that?
I wouldn't have bought it, but that's the thing is with baseball, with the long season, you never know, and it is good. Jack has been with us all year, and man, this guy is a smart guy. He studies. You can trust him. And he knows what he's doing out there. The game doesn't get too fast for him. With Edgardo, I thought today he sped up a little bit more than we're used to seeing, the last handful of outings. And then Robo, he's, ever since that Nationals, once we sent him out in D.C., he's come back a different person. And his confidence is sky high. And I just like the way he attacks. And I thought Ben did a great job with all those guys today. I thought about it. I just think that, he's got a lot of mileage, and he's going to always want to stay in the game. He's the only pitcher I think that we've had that has gone regular a few times, and so we're asking a lot of him. And I don't know. I just thought that the base hit, the breaker wasn't sharp, and then the double, and then, I just felt that at that point in time, how far am I going to push them? And I felt that we have to have guys behind our starters at some point to do their jobs. And so I hate giving up that last run of his, but I just felt that, if it was an extra rest and things like that, but just kind of how we've pushed him recently, I got to make sure that I do right by him, and he would probably argue against that, but that's just my opinion.
About making your own breaks, but is this the run that Rojas scored on the back pick kind of an example of what that helped generate at the end of it?
Yeah, that was a good break. We haven't gotten a break like that in a while. So Miggy's played his tail off, and so for us to get a break like that was something that was very welcome and very needed.
You need a win, and then you get big contributions from the big 3 guys. Isn't that nice to get that type of production from the guys you need in a game you need?
It was great. I mean, I think Shohei was on base 5 times. Mookie has really been swinging the bat really well, and thought he got another one, in that last at bat. So, and I thought Freddie took good at bat. So, yeah, across the board, I like the energy. I like the way we played, and even the guys on the bottom, did their jobs today.
How do you turn this into, a better extended run now, and not kind of slip into another week like you just had?
we saw these guys recently, the Rockies, and we split with them there. We've seen their pitching. We're going to get Max back tomorrow. I think that's going to be helpful. And I just think that now we've talked about it being a sprint, and we got to get going. And I really do believe that offensively, build on these last couple days. And we're back home to the West Coast, and hopefully that can be a lot nicer to us than our trip out east.
David, a veteran-laden group, after losing the first 2 games of this series like you did, what does this mean heading to the next series?
It's not a surprise how we responded. There was no panic. It was just kind of preparation. I do like the way that our guys weren't downtrodden. We were kind of up, looking forward to playing a ball game, to win a game. And that's a tell that you have confidence still in the room. It speaks to the character, and certainly when you get Shohei and Mookie doing what they're doing, that's also helpful too.